Hi, and welcome to Vitalio. I'm Dr. Ben Lerner. We're in a series on one of the most challenging areas of chiropractic, getting new patients. And today we're going to cover the patient orientation class, or what we also call the POC. And we're doing this with POC expert Dr. Todd Osborne. Let's get started.
Hi, I just wanted to share a few minutes with you in regards to a patient orientation class or a healthcare class, whatever terminology you want to use for that type of education for your patients. But it is extremely important that you have a class, if you will, or an orientation for all of your new patients that are coming into your office. It's so incredible how much it does, not only for the patients, but for you, doctor, and your staff members. And this is something that you want to do weekly in your office. It will help get your patients to stay on their care plans. It will help get your patients to refer more people into your office for care. It will make a huge difference with you, doctor, because when you have to get up and tell the chiropractic story and talk about it every week, it re-energizes you and obviously does the same for your staff members. So I would just encourage you to start scheduling a one-time 1-hour class every week in your offices, and it's where you truly get to educate your patients. We really do not have time during consultation, examination, reports, or even your daily visits if you're being efficient in your office. You have to be able to really, truly educate the patients every time they come in the office, but you can only do that in little bits. And so the only time that you can truly have that hour to really get into what chiropractic is about, what conditions chiropractic makes a difference with, how the nervous system functions, what innate intelligence is during your patient orientation class or healthcare class. Like I said, it is so valuable for the patients because they actually get educated, and the more they know, the more they're willing to buy, if you will. No one wants to be sold, but everyone wants to buy. So as your patients are more educated, the more they will buy. And I remember a story, and this was back in the early years of computers, when computers were just starting to get going, and software was had to be people had to be really educated on the software to use it, right? It's not like we have today with Windows or Macs where it's just click this, click that. Back then it was actually, you had to really know how to read or even write the software programming. And so this one particular computer company realized that people came in with little knowledge. They would only buy the lowest end computers because that's all they knew how to use. And so what they did is they started giving free classes on how to program and run these higher end programs that were out there. And these programs were very expensive, and the training was very expensive for them. But they were giving that away because what they found is once that person was more educated and knew how to do this, now instead of buying the bare minimum on the computer side, now they were willing to purchase a much higher valued computer, much higher valued software because they had the education to use it. And so this flows into the same thing with your patient orientation class, and that's the fact that the more they know, the more they want this product or what you have that you are providing to the patients in your chiropractic offices. So extremely important for the patient. The patient's more educated. If they're more educated, then they want the care for the rest of their life, right? If they really know what chiropractic is about and how it can benefit them and their family, then why would they ever quit? it also gives them the knowledge that they need to refer others, because most people that come into your office know that you can help. They came in with headaches. Okay, I know this doctor can help headaches or low back pain or digestive problems. Whatever it is they come in with, that's who they will tend to refer. So the orientation class gives you the opportunity to let them know that you are able to affect a large variety of different conditions and the function of the body itself. And so that makes their referral base get much larger for you.
Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of this material. But as a reminder, check the description for links to our podcast, YouTube channel, upcoming webinars, and other ways to get our contact regularly. I want to share this quick story with you really briefly from a doctor who has worked with Vitalio, and then we'll get right back to the content.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Clint Brockla, and I want to take a second here and talk to you guys about patient orientation class. It's not always about the referrals on patient orientation class. You'll get them, of course, but last night was my patient orientation class, and in my class I had a 16-year-old girl and her mom. They were here because the girl has TMJ, and it has gotten so bad that it got to a point where she can't talk after a while because it hurts so bad. Now, because of it, the need behind the need here is that it has caused her significant amount of anxiety and depression. She's having trouble with her friends, all sorts of stuff like that. And so here they're sitting in our patient orientation class last night, and I'm talking to them about the subluxation and the effects of the subluxation, short and long term, and what organs it can affect, and how to get the best out of their care. And after the class goes by, both of them come up to me, and they weren't asking me if I can help this person or if I can help that person or anything like that. What they were asking me and what they were telling me was how excited they were about her care at her office. The history part of this was, for the last 6 years, they've been fighting this, and it's getting worse and worse. They've tried all sorts of teeth bite protocols, dentist, orthodontics. They finally, their last straw was she had an appointment set up for a surgeon to operate on her jaw, but they decided they'd stop by our office first. And today when I saw them, the mom said they actually canceled that appointment. They have so much hope, so much excitement for this girl at this point. It's unbelievable. Now, here's the cool part is they also said once they start seeing her get going, mom is going to become a patient. So there is the power of the patient orientation class. It's not all about referrals. You'll get them, yes, but it's about creating lifelong chiropractic patients that understand real chiropractic, and they're excited to get their lives back.
But the biggest factor that the patient orientation class is for you doctors. And I can't tell you, if you've never done one, I can't explain it. You have to do one, but I can tell you when you have to get up there and talk the talk and walk your talk, it energizes you. And I remember the first patient orientation class I ever did. I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to spend an extra hour after the work, after we quit seeing patients to do this. But someone told me that I really needed to do it. So I dove in and scheduled it, had patients there for it. And all I can tell you is this: the most excited person about chiropractic that left my office that night was not one of my patients. It was me. And I still remember it was a Monday night, and Tuesday morning I started seeing patients at 6 a.m. and I could not sleep Monday night into the Tuesday a.m. because I was so excited about getting back to the office at 6 o'clock to see patients and get my hands on patients again. And so that's the type of energy it will give you, the type of enthusiasm it will give you, and your staff needs to be retrained on it. As you know, as chiropractors, we're out there on islands, and so we get bombarded by, the media, patients, and people that don't believe in chiropractic or whatever the case might be, right? Insurance companies, the medical profession, and it's tough. And so we need to be filled back up, right? We need to get the enthusiasm for chiropractic going again. And I can tell you this, that there is no better way to do that than doing a patient orientation class. I've experienced myself, and it's absolutely amazing on that end. Now, what are you educating the patients on? Well, you're going to give them some basic anatomy, physiology of the spine, the nervous system, how it works, and obviously you're going to go through that. But a couple of very important factors that you get to cover in patient orientation class is, number one, telling your story and why you do what you do. People want to know that, they're inspired by that. And so you get to tell your story of maybe you had a chiropractic experience, or maybe you went to school, maybe it happened after you got into school and you realized what chiropractic really was. Whatever the case is, everybody has a story of why you come to that office and why you do what you do, maybe why you even went to chiropractic school, maybe why you decided to get into this profession. But you get to tell your story. And again, that's very inspiring and motivating to your patients. The other thing that is very important that you get to do is give the hope and proof factor. And so you are going to be able to show pre and post x-rays of what's going on with the patient. And more importantly than that, you get to tell the story of the patient. And the more emotional that story is, the better, because people connect with emotional stories. And so I've got tons of pre and post x-rays that I can throw up with cervical curves coming back in, or scoliosis that have straightened up, you name it. I've got thousands upon thousands of those films. And when I speak in front of chiropractic groups, I can put those films up and I get oohs and ahs from the crowd, because we're chiropractors and we know what we're looking at. Yes, you can show those to the patients and they can see some change in there, but they still don't read x-rays every day like we do. So they really don't know exactly what they're looking at other than you're explaining them. It's that emotional story that comes into play. I can put up the 11-year-old child and show how much better the films look and how much their spine has improved. But it's that emotional story that Johnny had nocturnal enuresis or bedwetting and couldn't go visit friends, and now he is able to go do that. And how does that affect the life of an 11-year-old boy, the embarrassment and what goes along with that? And so it's that story that you want to tell during the class. This also gives you the opportunity to have them come in and give you names of people that they know need to be checked, or at least come in for a consultation to see if chiropractic can help them. So it's an opportunity for you to have those patients right there in front of you, to give them the opportunity to come into your office with their family, their friends, their coworkers, or whoever it is. Because while you're doing this orientation class, I promise you there are people popping into their head that they think, oh, I wonder if this could help so-and-so. I wonder if this could help my child. I wonder if this could make a difference for my mom. And so you can take that opportunity to actually ask them who it is that they would like to come in to your office and how you can help them get them in there. So patient orientation class, a healthcare class, so extremely important, especially if you're wanting to run a family referral-based practice. It will make a huge difference for you.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. As a reminder, we've got regular webinars that go into even more detail on this topic. Check the description for more ways to get our content and sign up. If you'd like more information about Vitalio and how it might help your practice, you can always reach us at vitaliohealth.com. That's VITALLEO health.com. Bless you, and remember who you are.